Sound check. Sound check.
Sound check.
We have sound check. Welcome to TDD.Academy. I'm your host, Lance Erkine. And let's see what's going on here with our solopreneur, David Coots. David, you have been hanging out with a pina colada for a long time. When are you going to stop calling in the show with your frozen camera? Come on, man. It's been a lot less fun without you. What's that, David? David says, hey, he's really liking that pina colada. Don't drink too many, David. You'll get an ice cream headache. Well, last episode, we made ourselves, so yes, back to the TDD of a text edit, folks, which is hard. People say all the time, it's very hard to do TDD in user interfaces. Well, we're trying to crack that nut and come out with some good patterns. And we have. We've got the pattern of don't talk directly to your view layer. If you can't unit test something like your view layer, don't talk directly to it, talk to it through an interface. So we got an interface. We have the principle of keeping small responsibility, basically make classes like you're being paid by the class so that you can lay groundwork for future rather than making, so we did that. For example, we didn't go into, what's it called? SSN Text Watcher, our major bit of work. We could have put in mask functionality in there, but we decided to go ahead and break it out into a separate one right off the bat. Boom. All right. And so we've been building unit tests bit by bit. It's not perfect because we sometimes learn that when we have to do some faking for our unit tests, that the unit tests sometimes will pass, but the simulator will not. But they've also helped us develop code and cover a lot of functionality. So it's been all right. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't have the ability to do this. Watch. We go to run all tests. We go bam, and we've got, admittedly, there's a bunch of ignored ones here. I got some catching up to do here, but we have 11 tests. Okay. The exciting thing is with Masker, because Masker's only got a simple job. It's just got to compute the mask, because we know what it does is this. It computes a mask for first step, stage by stage. It starts out with that. Then user enters a digit. When user enters a digit, it computes the mask that is appended to user input. So it'll do this. It'll give me this, it creates the XXX for that part. Okay, and then 3. All right. Arrow buttons. There's a way to do this, isn't there? There's an arrow caret down. Oh yeah, it's V. Okay, I think you get the idea there. And so on. So masker creates the mask at the end. Okay. Mask maker. Maybe we could call it mask maker instead of masker. I don't know, masker or mask maker. Okay, so we've got we test drove this. You can see it's got if else's and it's not 100% complete. We could keep test driving it. We'll have it 100% complete and working. But before we do that, folks, we need to integrate it into the code and make it work. All right? So we could keep hammering on this baby, and we will have lots of nice unit tests that drive this functionality. However, we want it to work in, we don't want to ignore the integration problem. If it doesn't integrate into our solution, then we got a problem, all right? So at the end of the last show, we integrated it, it didn't work, and we don't know why. And it's probably not Masker's fault, it's pretty simple. You can see it right there. It's probably our integration. So integration, how it is used, how Masker is used by the SSN text watcher. Something's not working out there, folks. So I'm headed to down the path of heading to the debugger. It doesn't happen a lot of times on this show, but hey, there's clearly a problem, and I need more information. So let's see here. I'm trying to find out where I was going to put I was either putting in print statements or breakpoints. So I put in these print statements in here. So after text change, that's where the action happens. That's when you type in something, when the user types in something, that's going to change the text. And after the text change, it's going to collect a reference to it so we can use it collects a reference to the characters in the UI. I like that actually, characters in the UI. All right, and this fella is going to compute a new mask, right? The mask is getting smaller, and it's going to append it onto the end using this function that prevents us from accidentally re-entering, because we're going to be programmatically editing something which will cause after text change to be called again. So we have to protect ourselves from a re-entry. Which reminds me is, should I be programmatically protecting myself from the mask changing too? That might actually be a problem, because it'll keep coming in here. It'll keep messing up my mask, changing my mask. All right. No, this could be the bug. Let's move it. To here, where it's got the re-entry guard. The re-entry guard is going to keep us from re-entering after text changed. Let's move those print statements. Oh boy. Okay. It's David, I'm putting in print lines in there. David and I kid David a lot about this, because putting in print lines for debugging purposes is sort of like, it's done when you're getting desperate. Many developers will do it before they're desperate, or they get desperate too easy. And so I get to kid David a lot because, hey, David, you don't need to do that yet. You don't need to do that yet. Where is David on my camera? There we go. David, you don't need to do that yet. There's other tricks you can do before you get to that. And I've already used those tricks. I can't think of anything else. So yes, David, I'm now putting in print lines into the code. All right. Temporarily putting in garbage stuff that I'm going to take out later when I'm getting my life figured out. Sort of like hanging out in the gutter of the software development gutter. Whoops. This is what happens when I change cameras. It shows up on my editor too. All right, so let's see here. Print line, we do this. Mask is computed. And I've protected it from being re-entry, re-entry this time. What's going on up here? Hold on a second, kids. I'm going to look back at this code out again. Something here shows me I have this here. I'm guarded. So what I was worried that wasn't guarded, but it's guarded. It's right there. Okay. Don't need to do this twice. And so this will only go in here. It won't re-entry this by accident. If I'm already entered once, it will return. Oh, yeah, that should be okay. I'm a little bit worried that this might not, still could be a problem, but I don't start editing it until this insert happens. Insert is where the reentry troubles can occur. Okay, so we do this. We append the mask onto the end. And how we do that is we insert based on the size of the mask. So we're using our mask size as the counter. Later, when we start supporting delete, we'll have to grow the mask too. Okay? But for some reason, I just ran it before the show again to remind myself what was wrong. It keeps appending the mask onto the end. So there's probably something wrong with my insert or something wrong with my, well, it should be the insert. It's probably not computing this right. Wow, let's go ahead and put a breakpoint in here. It's probably the first time I've done a breakpoint on the show with Android. Set, where is the breakpoint stuff? Interesting. Well, kids, no. There's my breakpoint, big red dot. Got to find that spot in the gutter right there. Boom, boom. Put one there, boom, boom. But right here is good. We'll stop, and then I can inspect these numbers. It's always math and computing, folks. Simple math, but you know how that is. Math's always simple. So you have a mistake. All right, so let's go see if these numbers look right, because maybe that's quite possibly the problem. And then maybe we'll think of a way we can make that test drivable. All right. So my tests are all passing that I expect. Oh, wait, what's this one doing? Why do I have this one failing? Is this the one I would finish the show on? Oh, maybe I even have a failing unit test too. I didn't even realize that. So in the show, I'm testing after text changed, user enters 2 digits. And yeah, interesting. So see, my unit test is doing exactly the same thing that the code does. It's just it keeps appending on longer and longer on the end. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that the unit test is failing for the same reason, the same scenario that the application is failing. I expect this, but I keep getting brrr. All right. All right. So that actually, we can look at this for a second. When I type in 1, 2. We shouldn't have, let's see what's going on here. I'm trying to study this, see if I can figure out what the bug is. So if there's supposed to be 3 there, and then the stuff outside of the blue is the new mask that got computed, which doesn't look like it's computing it right because it's got 2 X's. It should only have 1 X, like this one. So it feels like my compute mask isn't working either. That's weird. don't know why. Let's go look at the test. Maybe we can fix this with the unit test. Let's study that a little bit. Oh, I'm there. Okay. All right, user types on phone 01. Okay, that passed. Because it fails at this assert on line 276. Okay, and then user types in a 2 when the insertion point's at the first position, and then they get back, I expect this, 1, 2. Oh, I don't really think I should expect this. This does not look right. Okay. Oh yeah, just like this comment says, there's an extra X until the text watcher event cleans up the mask. All right, so the user types in a 2, and before the user can actually see it, the user won't see this. There'll be an X hanging out here, and then we'll quickly make that go away. So before text change is called, after text change is called, does on text change need to be called? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we don't use that. Hard to remember between shows. Let's take a look. On text change. Before, after, on text change does nothing. We are not using that for anything. Alt. Okay. Try out my keyboard shortcuts. Okay. What's going on here? My test. Get back to my test. All right, so that's correct, but before and after, the after should correct that problem. We expect it to fix that problem. And that's why we have our problem. Well, let's see what's going on. Before text change, pass in text box again. Text box. Text box is what the user, this function uses text box. All right, text box, cursor position 1. Number of characters added is 1. That's what happened when the user added 1. So before, that looks correct. After, looks correct. And then assert mask correct. 1, 2. This is the correct mask, but we don't get the correct mask. We get a longer mask. Now, why is that happening? Maybe we'll put a breakpoint and do some walking, huh? Let's put a breakpoint right here. And we will run test in Debugger. Debug run all tests. Yeah. There's some bad math happening there somewhere. Now this is the one where the user enters a single digit. I don't care about that. I'm not going to break on that one. I'm going to turn these off, by the way. It's okay. I'll just hit continue. Oops. Cancel. I want to continue. Where are my little step over? Step out. If I'm looking at how to control the debugger, that's probably over here. No. Resume. There we are. It'll be that one, but let me look at these others while I'm here. Who's this? Thread dump. Settings. Pit tab. Okay, now I'm in after enters 2 digits. Now this is the one I'm really interested in. I'm a little puzzled. Oh, because it's going to... I'm a little puzzled because it didn't hit the first breakpoint. Either I put the breakpoint in the wrong spot or... let me see. If I double tap this and go back here, it didn't hit this breakpoint. So it's because of the first set. Well, since we're here, let's see what the first set looks like. So let's step along here. So a button that says go to breakpoint. Show me the breakpoint. View breakpoints. Okay. Go text watcher here. All right, let's evaluate some things here. So if I hover over mask, it tells me XX-XX-XXX, which is correct. That's after it typed in 1, right? It hasn't got to the second digit yet. And then the length is the whole field. It can be 10 digits. The length, come here. The mask length is 9. All right, because the mask looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits. So it is 9 digits long. Now, it is an insert, and it's probably working with a zero-based array, so we might be off by 1 somewhere in here, but let's see what characters look like right now. Characters right now are 1. Okay, come here. Oh, is it? This is strange. I've never used this. It actually prints it out here in a way so I could see it. How interesting. I like it. I think that works for me. All right, so there's only a 1 in there, and it's going to do the right thing with the mask. Looks beautiful. Okay, so we can sally forth. Just taking a peek before I continue on. All right, I think that's all great. Excuse me. Hey, it's always these late Friday shows, man. Okay, I hit continue. Now what? Why am I sitting here? I'm looking at the test. Okay, cool. So now it's about ready to call before. So it typed in the 2. The user has entered in 2 things now. See, 1, 2, and there's too much stuff there. Now here's the thing. Notice 2 we need to get rid of one of those X's now. That's what masker's job is. Masker's job is to give me the right mask to append onto the end of user input. And it's about to do that. Now let's see why it's not. It's not doing it right though. Yeah, you know, it's a greenhorn. It's a freshman. We got to teach it. Okay, let's continue with a step in. I think we're going to step in. Let's see. This is before. Let's step in. Okay. So this isn't going to do anything to. What is this doing? Before text change, it's going to make sure if we're adding a mask or not. It will return if we already are. App is adding a mask. False. Okay, seems correct. So it's checking to see if we're re-entrant, meaning we're following in again the same thing we just did a moment ago. And we're not. Say, count of characters added. Now what is this for? I don't remember what this is for. I'm getting some notifications on Twitch. Should probably see what that's about. Just saying, hey, TDD.Academy's live. Sweet. Though I should open up my Twitters in case you want to tweet me, or I should open up my LinkedIn. Oh my God, all these things I need to do. I need a producer so I can focus on the coding part. Let's switch to my other profile, to the Agile Thoughts one. Next account. Kent tweeted me. He's amazed I got something from Jack Ma. Anyways, moving on. No tweets yet. No, I'm not using the right account. That's why. Yeah, no, that's the right account. Okay, cool. So if you tweet me during live on the show, hopefully I'll notice that. Or if you catch me up on LinkedIn, hopefully I'll notice that too. And I will if I open up the broadcast here. I will have to get used to doing this. There it is. Okay, there I am. Let's show the chat. Give myself a like. There. I like myself. Great. Sorry, folks. Now I have to get back on track. What the heck were we doing? Oh, yeah, we were debugging something. Okay. I don't really know. Count of characters added greater than 0. And it's going to, set the cursor. This is interesting code. I don't remember this code very well, this line. All right, so let's look, see what it is. Is it greater, it's equal to 1, so that's greater than 0. So that means this cursor is going to be add. So I got a cursor keeping track of the number of times something's input. That's what that is, I think. All right, so it's going to go 1 is equal to, or it's going to say the cursor is going to equal its current value plus the number of new characters added, which is 1. All right, that's fine. Hope I've tested that. I just don't remember that code very well. And let's keep going. And it's going to print something out. And then it's going to go back to blah, blah, blah. It's all fine. I didn't really want to step in. Hopefully it isn't going to actually try to step in. Okay. Now we're going to after text watch. This is where the action is, folks. That's why we don't like to use debuggers a lot, because they slow you down. Really, it takes a lot of time. Here, let's clear this one. I don't care about that. How do I tap it again? This is a better spot for the breakpoint. Okay. All right, awesome. Characters and GUIs there. You know, it's got that extra X. We want to tidy that extra X up. Step over. Yeah. So if I'm reentrant, return. I shouldn't be reentrant. I'm not. Great. Mask is equal to the, it's going to get a new mask here. It's equal to the old mask. But after I call this, should be 1 less X on it. So let's find out. Let's step over. Now, let's mask. Nice. See, it's doing its job. Just like the unit test said it had to be doing its job too. But we have an integration problem. How this code is using masker and in order to drive the UI isn't working out. So we have to figure that out. Okay, now we're going to start stepping in. After this, we're going to step over. We're going to step in on append mask on end because something's not working in there. Okay. Now, it's probably a math problem. So the field length is 10. The mask length is 8. 8 minus 10. 10 minus 8. It's 2, which is the right number. There is 2 user input elements, characters in there. So if there are two, insert, where is insert going to insert? Insert should insert the new mask after the 2. So it should start at position 0 is the first position, 1 position. It's either 1. It might be off by 1. Okay. So this mask is